Namaste, ladies and gentlemen. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sthavaram Jangamam Vyaptam Yena Characharam, Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Ajnanina Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuranmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Mata Shri Maharagni Shrimat Simhasaneshwari Chidagnikunda Sambhuta Daiva Karya Samudhyata Udyadbhanu Sahasrabha Chaturbahu Samanvita Ragaswarupa Pashadya Krodha Karankushochvala Manorupekshu Kodanda Panchatanmatra Sayaka Nijaruna Prabhapura Majjad Brahmandala Mandala Champakashoga Punnaga Saugandikala Satkacha Kuruvindamani Shreni Kanatkotira Mandita Ashtami Chandra Dalikasthala Shodita Mukachandra Kalankam Mruganabi Visheshaka Vadanasmara Mangalya Grahatavarana Challika Vaktra Lakshmi Paribhave Chalanminapi Navalochana. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Paramaguru, Paraparaguru, Parameshti Guru, Gurubhyo Namaha. As a part of note and disclaimer, maybe I could be correct, I could not be correct. Maybe some of the information which I am providing might be illegitimate. Yet again, it's a request. I am also a human being. I do commit mistakes. So expecting audience and viewers to get that to my notice. As I was speaking in my previous video, the very aspect of very aspect of the point of speed, time, speed and distance, and Brahman consciousness and seen and unseen planets or seen and unseen galaxies in and around, right? Now let's take the subject much further. Ekameva advitiya aham brahmasmi brahma satyam jagat mithya brahmaiva jivo na paraha. Now, what are the roots for this? One needs to understand, right? Brahman. I am speaking about Brahman and I am speaking about the very aspect of Prakriti and Purusha and and I was speaking about how they are related to Shiva and Shakti, Shiva Shaktaika Rupini, Shuddha Shakti Swarupini. You name it, you have it, as simple as that. Now, the roots which we are or have been talking about by and large over the centuries, decades, yet again, everything is based on karma. Ladies and gentlemen, understand this. This is the most important point which one needs to, understand. It's not that as a human being, if you are thinking that, humanoid or human existence, since I am thinking, let's say Ramachandra, me, right? If I wanted to be a prime minister, or if I wanted to be a rich man, rich person, it doesn't come just like that. Or for that matter, any kind of thought process, which is what is happening today with the humanoid or human existence. They come up, they don't understand about, they don't know what exactly the previous karmic deeds are all about. None of us know, in fact, which one needs to understand. That's the point which I want to talk, stress upon. That is the reason why we say, like, in Telugu, most of the common, na karma, my karma, मेरा कर्मा है ये. So, Natya Shastra and 108 Karanas are one part of it. Mantra, Tantra, Yantra is one part of it. Mananat Trayate iti mantraha is one part of it. When we mix Mananat Trayate iti mantraha, it engulfs and it encapsulates Tantra aspects, wherein you are giving your obeisance to the seen and unseen God. And in fact, that God is there in your own body. Your own body is a temple. And that is where actually Natya Shastra and 108 Karna Edge is there. That is the reason why, if we really look at not a dancer or someone who is performing, or if you are hearing to anyone for that matter, you will have that supernatural powers. Think about it. This is a most vital point number 1. Karmic deeds. You see prodigies, right? They come up with songs. They do it in a professional way at a very younger age, which is what is happening in the 21st century. What do you think that, they have, did they have that during the period of process? No, it is a previous karmic deeds. Again, karma, unfinished. Likewise, me talking about Natya Shastra or 108 Karanas or whatever subject, spiritual subject. It is not this birth that I am talking about it. It is my age-old births which has been coming down like this. Unfinished job. Likewise, if I'm not getting a job, or maybe if some people do not get a job, but still they would be able to survive with that devotional aspect. They get into devotional. I have seen many of them. What do you think? It's previous births, karmic deeds. That's where seen and unseen God comes into picture. Form and formless nature. And this is what Natya Shastra or 108 Karanas talk about, ladies and gentlemen. One needs to understand this. That is the first point which I want to talk about. The point here is one needs to understand the very meaning of karma though here. And or we can say, or more or less deals with the previous birth's action or activities which you don't know in this birth. That's the point which I want to say. Okay. Here is where Natya Brahma or Natya Sutradhara talks about the 108 Karanas inclusion though. As I was talking about the 27 nakshatras as per astronomy and 27 yoga nakshatras as per yoga, which are again divided into what really this 108, these 108 Karanas do. These 108 Karanas actually, program your body. Get to that state of yoga drashta and yoga drushya. And it takes you to the, say, this is the level right now. It takes you to this level, to the highest level, to this level. That's when you would be able to understand what is it that is driving you to do this. That's the point which I want to talk about. And this is the reason why Natya Shastra in 108 Karanas also was introduced. It's not only from the dance perspective, ladies and gentlemen. That's the point I want to, give it a very clear aspect. Okay. Thus, making 108 Karanas, which on contrary get us connected to those quadrillion stars, moons, satellite planets, and whatnot. Not only these, but constellations that happen now and then. If one is consciously trying to do and one is able to get to understand this, believe me, you would be able to get to understand your own astrology. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the point which I want to stress upon. Think about it. That is the point. All these being benefactors for the karmic deeds again. Meaning the consistent motion of planets which are 9 in numbers. Again, ruling the quadrillion planets across the ever expansive worlds. Universe, multiverse, omniverse, which is dynamic in nature again. The structure of the worlds being 5-dimensional again. But when a dancer dances, as per Natya Shastra or whatever it is, there you take a 3-dimensional aspect. Think about it, ladies and gentlemen. And Natya Brahma or Natya Sutradhara talks about the very yoga drashta, yoga drushya, yoga maya and yoga mahamaya aspect. You need to understand this. This is a practical point that Natya Shastra explains to one and all. It only comes through experience or that disciplinary approach. That is the point. Thus enabling the human existence to do the time travel, time, space and distance travel. Though I will be touching upon how the Brahma's calculation of time is all about. The 108 karnas directly or indirectly helps the human existence to do this time travel. As simple as that. With classical music form and classical dance form, it would be more easiest to. That doesn't mean it is like, when I say easiest, it happens just like that in fraction of seconds. Like this. It doesn't happen like that. But still it requires a lot of practice. That's the one point. The other way is what you call deeper meditative practices, which happens uh, uh, beyond the purview of classical music and classical dance. That is the yoga practice or meditation practice or whatever it is. Again, there also you will not get result just like this. You need to understand this. Today I see that most of the yoga practitioners say we will give you that third eye contact just like this within 10 days, within 20 days. If that was the case, we would have been what you call taken place of Sapta Rishis, ladies and gentlemen. Don't get carried away with these, pseudo gurus who really don't know what really yoga is all about. Yoga and meditative practices are all about. So, see, the thing is, this time, space, and distance travel, if we really look at, it again depends on the bijaksharas that we utter as a humanoid, or that not one are. In case of classical dance, in case of musician, classical musician, the one who is what you call reciting during the performance. Which are used in the Saptaswaras point of view. Okay. So, this is again cross reference to Nada Bindu Kala or Kala. There is lot of difference between Kala and Kala. Kala refers to the usage of mudras and karanas and dance postures, which get us connected. Kala is something wherein the time, space, and distance travel, which I am talking about, this humanoid gets connected to the terrestrial existence. That is first thing. So, like, it has 4 steps approach. Okay. First step being the, Saptaswaras. First step being Saptaswaras. Sa, re, ga, ma, pa, dha, ni, sa, ni, da, pa, ma, ga, re, sa. Which, okay, the point here is that we as human beings or the existence as humanoid failed to take this aspect in the literal sense though. We have failed the first step itself. We have not understood the exact meaning of those Saptaswaras. Meaning, we are going at a subliminal level though. There are very few learned ones who have understood that. Who are, not everyone could. The point here is, every one of us are going beyond a point, but in a different direction. Meaning in the tangential direction or destructive direction. Yet again, you can reduce the intensity of effect of the same. Today, unfortunately, so-called priests or astrologers or gurus who pose themselves as realized individuals are misleading the general public in the name of rituals though. I'm talking from the view of yoga, tantra. The tantric practices that are happening across globe, specifically the Westerners, they have not understood what exactly the mudras are all about at first place. Even in classical dance form, when it comes to the classical dance form, Natya Shastra or Natya, 108 Karnas, when a performer performs, right? What is happening is he or she is just, for the sake of doing it. Fine, that is always fine. But the very purpose of Natya Shastra or 108 Karnas to be performed there is the energy that sprouts out like this needs to get distributed around, in and around. That is what one needs to understand, ladies and gentlemen. Let's say like I am putting Chin Mudra. And doing it. Of course, this might be of some use. Or when I am putting this mudra, Yoni Mudra, some energy emits. So this has to go. There has to be purpose. So that discipline has to be there deep within. This is what I am trying to stress upon. Not that I am trying to find fault with the dancer there, but one needs to understand that. So the very internal and deep within power of finding a solution for developing that positive thinking, you need to understand this. The positive thought process needs to come. The purview has been realized by very few, though you can count in fingers. In fact, I have met a dancer, classical dancer, who is now a realized soul, and she doesn't perform what you call anymore, but still she performs with a view to generate what you call refill the power that gets drained deep within. This is the beauty of Natya Shastra or classical dance form or 108 Karanas. There is a systematic and process. There is a systematic approach and process in the approach from the same. This is the reason why it's called classical or divine. This was actually understood by south and north regions of the Indian peninsula. And that is the reason why, if you really see, some of the gurus first initiate a mantra to the individuals who are learning classical dance form. Yes, absolutely. I am ready to argue on the same. A healthy argument though. So, like, however, with the Mughals or, Mughals or Westerners invasion, what happened is, of late, as the centuries, decades, and everything passed by, they have contaminated the very subject and ideology of Natya Shastra and 108 Karnas. It's nothing against Westerners or Mughals or Muslim community or any other community there. But that heritage and culture needs to be, alive, right? It should not die, right? That is what is happening with Natya Shastra and 108 Karnas, and that is the reason why the real aspect of Natya Shastra and 108 Karnas subject is getting archived, or it is just lying vacant in the locked shelves, ladies and gentlemen. Though there were few good scholars and learned individuals who used in a positive way. Though the point here is, the Natya Shastra has already given these glimpses. You might ask, you started with reduction of karmic deeds and all. Why are you talking about these aspects like Muslim invasion and Mughal invasion and Westerners invasion, or these gurus or pseudo gurus existing? The reason for telling this is, these people have not understood the real meaning of karma or the karmic deeds, ladies and gentlemen. Hence, they propagated the virtual meaning of karma or the karmic deeds or the previous births or the astrological significance here, which one needs to understand. One needs to get to the level of going beyond the words and beyond the alphabets for this. If you really look at Chola and Pandya rhymes, or Gupta or Maurya, Gupta and Maurya, the medieval times, they used to respect, they used to give this importance to mantra and tantra. Krishna Devaraya rhyme, during the period of reign of Shankaracharya, Madhvacharya, this divine cult practices were so strong and, divine in itself. We need to be thankful to them. Even what you call, we had many of the scholars like, who have emphasized on this subject itself. Dikshitar, Shyama Shastri, Bhakta Ramdas, Namdev, to name a few, Tyagaraja, all have tried to understand the very subject of Bijaksharas. They have understood that and created kritis. Specifically, if I talk about Muthuswami Dikshitars and Shyama Shastris, they had that essence coming out. In fact, they are being used directly or indirectly in Natya Shastra or 108 Karanas, which one needs to understand. The point is, if the individual is able to get that gist or that essence or that pulp of the subject from the objective front and objective front and the subjective front, one, it would be of a world of good for the humanoid or human existence, ladies and gentlemen, which is like depreciating. Now, though, when everything has been told and proved, we are as human beings still struggling hard. That's a very hard and harsh part. Why we are still struggling hard and, are hard to understand. We are not able to get to that, get beyond a point, beyond the words or beyond the alphabets there. So, even these musical notes, whatever it is, if one tries to understand these musical notes, it's not that they are mere saptaswaras, but they could actually even cure your karmic deeds also, if done properly, if recited properly, enunciated and pronunciated properly, ladies and gentlemen. That's the power of Bijakshara there. Astrologically, that could also help them, to get to a proper state. This is the beauty of Natya Shastra and 108 Karanas. And even that yoga or meditative practices. Or classical music, or reading the scriptures. That is the reason why Mananat Trayate iti mantra has that essence. Now, for the body to respond or to get to that terrestrial existence, power by and large, this is the second step, being getting to that. The second step over here is like the 7 musical notes plus akara, ukara, makara. Akara, akara, ikara, 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 imkara. They get added together. For example, sa, 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 re, 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 ga, 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 ga. Likewise, ma, pa, da, ni, sa, ra, ga, ma, pa, da, ni, sa, re, ga, ma, pa, da, ni. And vowel sounds. A, E, I, O, U. If we see these swaras, if we add up the vowel sounds, it gets a different sound. This sound is what actually creates that energy deep within, starting from Mooladhara, which one needs to understand. From Mooladhara, it goes to Sahasrara. And thus, that cycle goes on. Now, as I said, these are needed to be enunciated and pronunciated. The strong modulation of the swaras also plays a key role in getting the connection to terrestrial existence, which one needs to understand. Like strong ana, strong da, strong dha, strong pa, strong ni, strong ra, strong ma are a few examples here. However, these are just basic sounds and important aspects. Pavarga, pa, fa, ba, bha, ma, cha, cha, ja, jhana, ta, tha, da, dha, na, ya, ra, la, va, she, sa, ha, ta, tha, da, dha, na. These sounds incidentally form a part of the language base level. Understand this. Study which again is very base to get the humanoid, to get that connection to for 108 karanas to terrestrial existence. Now, not only classical music, Western music, Hindustani, you name it. For all of this, the very base study of this is Sa at Shadjama level, which represents Sun, Surya, Ra at Rishabha level, Mercury, Buddha, Gandhara, Ga, Venus, Shukra, Ma, Madhyama, Mars, Mangala, Pa, Panchama, Moon, Chandra, Dha, Daivata, Jupiter, Guru, Ni, Nishadha, Saturn, Shani. And if we see, these happen within the scale of 12 steps with the positioning. 2 steps, interval and 1 tone. Or every step, interval or half tone. Thus, it has to happen, be natural. It has to happen naturally. And at times decreased and decreased by half tone, increased by half tone. 12 steps further divided into 12 semitones though there are about 150 or more different scales, ladies and gentlemen, which one needs to understand. Scales that individual and connect us to the planets. Now, though, to get to the other galaxies, apart from whatever that I am talking, these are existing in the words uni, multi, and omni. There are around unlimited, you do not have what you call, you cannot count those numbers, number of galaxies or number of suns or number of moons or whatever you say. These 27 astrological nakshatras or 27 yoga nakshatras, as I said, 27 into 4, 108. 108 plus 108, 216. Okay. And now these 216, of these 216, the 108 karanas which are there, whatever, postures or whatever you do, they get us connected to that 64 unseen galaxies and 44 seen galaxies, which again rule these 216. Though 108 karanas can be can be told as stylized aspect, but logically, if we see, these are primary mediators that help the individual to get the humanoid connected. And the third and fourth step is all about the energy levels being transferred using the vibrations respectively. Think about it, ladies and gentlemen. See, thus one really needs to explore and understand this viewpoint. The very aspect of astrology or positioning of the planet can be really altered and aligned during the process of performance, seeing, hearing to the musical notes. The fact is, swaras are the key factors. Now, you have been speaking about what you call karma, right? Why am I talking about all of this? Right? This is one question one needs to ask, right? Yes. When there is a discipline and when there is a systematic approach, all the karmic deeds which have had happened in the previous birth, that's okay. But everything will get vanished if done properly in a very systematic way. Understanding this, when we get connected to that 27 yoga nakshatras and 27 astrological nakshatras, you need to have that mind, ladies and gentlemen. Thus, I conclude this video with a positive note. Stay blessed and have a real blissful life. May the Guru's grace be with one and all. Asato ma satgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amritangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Loka samastha sukhino bhavantu. Sarve jana sukhino bhavantu. Sarve santu niramaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Hari Om Tat Sat.